Buddies, what's going on? Hey, it's Concert Buddy. Welcome back to the channel. I know I'm straight slacking on making videos this summer. I gotta be honest, owning it. But I'm back with another edition of Vinyl Finds. I got some real straight up 90s heat coming at you. So cue that lever. Let's get into it now. Buddies, I hope you're having a great summer. Here we are, smack dab. I guess it's 2/3 over of the summer. We've already been through June, already now through pretty much July, got August left. And then that's it. The pool's closed, travel plans change, and then summer's gone. Where did it go? I can tell you where I have gone and haven't gone. If you've been following the channel, I did a lot of traveling in like May-ish, a little bit in June, and July, August, and a little bit too. But all along the way, I'm looking for those pieces of hard to find blacks, the black gold, to bring into my collection. And this video is no different. I know Vinyl Finds sometimes can be a little repetitive. That's why I don't try to do it so much. I think probably, tell me in the comments below what you think about this. Maybe like once a month. It's probably a good recap. And also it's very important to note that this isn't everything I'm picking up. These are just things I want to talk about, things that maybe you would enjoy, things that I enjoy, we enjoy, all that sort of stuff. So all that said, big word salad for you, buddies. Let me show you some of these records.
Yeah.
All right, buddies. So the first one I'm going to talk about is a reissue of the 2001 album from the band No Doubt. This is Rock Steady. And you're saying, that's a different looking cover. Buddies, you are smarter than smart. And this is a release from the Interscope Vinyl Collective, IVC. Talked about it on the channel before, on Surface Noise, wherever you can listen to me opine about this hobby of ours. IVC started in November, and the first release was Dr. Dre's The Chronic. And what this reissue campaign is, it's predominantly, it is all Interscope artists. And a lot of times they will do color variants, they'll have alternate artwork on the covers, all kind of appealing to the subscription model like Vinyl Me Please, Magnolia Record Club, etc. But it's only Interscope artists. And in November when this started, they released Dr. Dre Chronic with a black cover, real cool looking. There's a lot of things that probably weren't thought out properly, and one was the shipping mailers. I've already been on that hill. Terrible shipping mailer. I had a terrible experience with the first one. I stuck around for the second one because it was Obi Trice's Cheers, which OGs of that are stupid expensive. So it was a very nice job on the reissue. I enjoyed it. But after that, I kind of cut out. It's about $50 per release when you factor in. First, I think it started at like $43 or $46, and then they took the price up. So you have to be really committed to the cause. And the troubles I had with the really inadequate mailers, and again, when you're really kind of keeping it to one stable, one label, artists, bands, etc., it's kind of limiting, right? But I've been following along. I've been watching you, IVC. And I know some folks, Felipe is one of them, who collect or who are part of this or have bought titles from this and have had positive feedback. But this is the 9th release. So we go back to November. This is the 9th release. This is the first one I've gotten since the second output of Obi Trice's Cheers. And I was kind of looking forward to this for a couple of reasons. One, I didn't have this in my collection. I don't have the 2001 original, though maybe I might go back and get it now. But this is the 5th studio album from No Doubt. So this comes after Tragic Kingdom, the big hit, I think of 96, 97. And then their follow-up was a little bit softer, Return of Saturn, I think it was. It wasn't as commercially received as Tragic Kingdom. Well, of course, Tragic Kingdom's a monster. So this was more well-received than Return of Saturn. And it was a lot of different sounds kind of melded on this album. There's, a very Jamaican influence. There's dance hall kind of influence to it. Especially with like the lead track, Hey Baby. which is a real top-notch. I mean, if you listen to that song and you just can't feel good about what you're hearing, I can't help you. But then they follow that up with the next release, Hella Good. Again, the 4 big signature commercial hits off this: Hey Baby, Hella Good, Underneath It All, which is kind of like a ballad, and then Running, which is, you know, kind of like a hybrid of a ballad and kind of a pop song. But anyway, this came on colored wax. We got 2 different colors. We've got pink, and we got this blue, which kind of goes nicely with this foil jacket. Treatment, again, this is a cover variant. If you look at the original OG, it's like black. Similar kind of font, I think, but it's black with white and red font colors, if you will. But anyway, listen to this. It sounds pretty good. I will say that it's pretty obvious it's from a digital source, because it's just, even despite being on 2 discs, it's solid, but it's not like it's not like Michael Jackson OG Thriller, like get you. So that was a little disappointing, but I'm not going to stay in the club. I don't know what the next release is. I haven't really peeped it yet, but I just ducked in to get this. I will say, and I'm happy to report this, the mailers have improved. No damages, no annihilation like my Dr. Dre Chronic. Looked like somebody had literally taken a bite, thrown it on my lawn, gave it to their dog, took a bite. It was obnoxious. Anyway, happy to pick this up and add it to the collection.
Back up into the ring in just a moment or two for more exciting fucking action.
Next album I'm going to share with you is, actually, it's not this record. I'm going to do a little hocus pocus on you, so pay attention, buddies. This is Third Eye Blind. This is their debut self-titled album. This is actually the 2021 reissue. It's like red. I think it's through the band's web store. 2-discer. I didn't have this in my collection, so when this came out a couple years ago, 2021, I was stoked to have it. It's a great album. But recently, found out that the original came out in 1997 when the album came out. So we're going to do a switch or change or watch this. Pa-pow! Pa-pow! Oh man, that'd be great if it was the right side up.
Stop playing like a jabroni, man.
So I have picked up an OG of this album from Third Eye Blind. Again, 1997. I didn't even know they had pressed this on vinyl, because again, the 90s, they weren't pressing a ton of stuff on vinyl.
No, that's correct.
And when it comes to 90s classic albums, I would kind of put this right up there if you're thinking about alternative rock, mind you. 4 extremely, extremely strong hits from Stephen Jenkins and the guys in this band. I've seen them live, really good show. But I think the one that's been everywhere, from the American Pie movie to probably several other movies, which I don't know off the top of my head. Semi-Charmed Life was their debut single. Came out in February of 97. Then Graduate followed that up. The one I think a lot of people think of is kind of a ballad, How's It Gonna Be? Kind of a little sadder song. And then Jumper, also kind of a sadder song. Think about it. I think somewhere in there may have been another single, like Losing a Whole Year, I think. Yeah, so the first song, lead song on side A, I think that was their 4th single they released off that. That was probably the end of 97, because then again in 98 or at some point in 98 they released Jumper. But anyway, very collectible, very hard to find. Like I said, didn't even know it existed. And I think I stumbled across it just through my internet scaling and looking and learning, and like hopefully everyone should be. And I found this guy selling one that was a self-professed audiophile, with a grain of salt, because when you listen to this, it sounds good. Again, digital recording probably, that sort of thing. But we got a good deal, and I was happy to add to the collection. Now, boom, I've got twofer. Third Eye Blind. I'm not a big Third Eye Blind fan. I like this album a lot. I don't have any other releases from them, to be honest. I think they commercially and for CONCERTBUDDIE peaked with this one, but man, had no idea they did this on vinyl originally in 97, and now I have it in my 90s pantheon of records in my collection.
Okay, so tell us, what does download mean?
All right, let's go a little bit forward in time, buddies. Let's go back to 2000. And this is the debut album from the band Wheatus. Now this is, I'm just going to be honest, is a one-hit wonder situation. And interestingly enough, this is a reissue, kind of like the No Doubt one is a reissue, but this is a reissue of what a lot of bands have to kind of do later in their careers because they don't own their masters, they don't own their publishing, and it's usually owned by the label. In this case, Columbia was the label. This was a self-release. I found this on Bandcamp of all places. They went back and re-recorded this because you don't see the Columbia logo. They re-recorded the entire album and added some bonus tracks. This is a 2-discer, blue and yellow vinyl, so it matches the aesthetic on the cover. But, you know, I find it interesting because I know Everclear did this, and it kind of turned me off to the whole process because it just doesn't sound the same, right? So I was really worried about this, but I also saw, I think it was Music on Vinyl, reissued this a couple years ago, and wasn't real impressed with how that kind of turned out. So, Bandcamp, music comes from the artist, money goes to the artist. I thought I'd take a stab at it, and it actually sounds pretty good. I would say, though, that it's a little probably too much coin to be spending on a one-hit wonder, but I didn't want to go back. It's actually comparable kind of to where this was, I think, about the same ballpark price as the Music on Vinyl from a couple of years ago. And again, I'd rather give the money straight to the band. And I did sample it. I did have some digital MP3s you could listen to, so it sounded pretty good. And again, Teenage Dirtbag is really why I bought this. It's a great power pop song. Enjoyed the hell out of it. Enjoy it now, and I can listen to it on vinyl. Yes.
Everybody's doing it.
So, buddies, know what you're thinking. Oh, you're showing Gorilla's Demon Days. Well, this album is in print. It's not hard to find. In fact, Vinyl Me Please was a big deal in 2017 when they reissued this. Yes, I know all these things. However, it's not what I'm showing you, buddies. I'm showing you the original, the OG, 2005 UK. And here's how you can tell the difference, because this is a parental advisory sticker as opposed to being printed on, and I think the initial reissue didn't have this on it from the UK, so check yourself before you wreck yourself. But a 2-discer, turned out one of my locals had this. I couldn't believe it. I already have the Vinyl Me Please, which is excellent, sounds excellent. One of the best Vinyl Me Please releases they've probably ever done. That one comes on red wax, this one's black wax. But, I mean, if you know, you know. This is like a huge album, 2005. Damon Albarn and from Blur, kind of like a eponymous, like they never show their faces, everything. They're these kind of like cartoon guys. But, you know, hits, bangers. I know a lot of people have been saying bangers lately. I'm trying not to do that. But, I mean, you've got Feel Good Inc., Dirty Harry, Kids with Guns, Dare. Like, this thing is just, of all the releases, in my opinion, the best. This is the one that if anyone's going to have the Gorillaz in their collection, maybe the first self-titled, but this one is amazing. Got a very good price on it. And again, if you're watching the channel for any length of time, you know this is like my bread and butter, like getting the originals. And before I purchased it, I did read some online reviews, because the worst thing you can do is you plunk down a good amount of coin on a record and it sounds like shit, like crap, right? Especially because that Vinyl Me Please sounds so good. This, folks, buddies, chef's kiss. This delivers. This is all that, a bag of chips, and your refund from the vending machine. This is amazing. Sounds great. Great, luscious volume, feel, thump, muscle, all that kind of stuff. I'm the last person that should be describing sound floors and all that kind of stuff. I can just tell you, when I put this on and started playing, yes. It just made me say yes. So to me, that's a winner. Happy to add the original Gorillaz Demon Days to the collection.
And like I told you, you're in the right place at the right time, because we're going to see some magic, real magic.
Some say you should save the best for last, and I think in this case, I may have. You decide. Showing you, I'm a little out of breath. I have to go downstairs to get this one. You say, hey, this is a vinyl community channel. Why are you not showing vinyl? Hold up. This is the self-titled album from Alice in Chains, 1995. It's their last studio album. It's not my original CD. I actually got this when I was in Seattle about a month or so ago. So when better time to buy a Seattle band CD or album when in Seattle. And I had this back in the day. It's very different because it comes in this like neon, wonderful jewel case. So much fun. But, buddies, you ready? You hear that chair creaking?
Wow.
Yes, Tripod, the self-titled album from Alice in Chains, affectionately known as Tripod because its dog has 3 legs, right? On vinyl, 1995. Huge shout out to, again, Felipe, Jazz Bums, Felipe. I got this probably about 2 or 3 months ago. I've been sitting on it. I've been waiting for the right opportunity, and buddies, this is it. I finally got around to listening to it, and it is amazing. It is amazing sounding for a 90s grunge alternative rock album. Put the vinyl. This is it. This is the bomb diggity. And a lot of times when you see this, I mean, I see this pretty often. It's not a cheap piece. You see a corner cut somewhere, right? Now, this does have a dreaded saw cut, but I can live with the saw cut since the 4 corners are intact. You know, a little wear to the corners, but this thing is, 95. I mean, it's almost coming up on 30 years. And the thought has been forever that they're going to reissue this. They've been reissuing a lot of the Alice in Chains back catalog, Jar of Flies, Facelift, that kind of stuff over the last couple of years. Dirt was one that they just reissued. Some of these have already been reissued before. Some of them have never been reissued. This one's never been reissued. You'll see a lot of unofficial European bootlegs out in the marketplace. When this came out in 95, wasn't my favorite Alice in Chains album. You know, the lead single, I think, was Grind, and it's just an okay song to me. But then you got Heaven Beside You, which is one of their top songs of all time. So good. But if you're an avid record collector, and if you're a record collector of 90s music like I am, you know this is it. This is one of them. This is one of the top 10 albums you should get, and it's, as a collector, as a music fan, as a grunge music fan, it's awesome. So I'm so glad that Felipe put me in contact with the shop, one of his locals. We made the deal happen. We did the damn thing, and this was one of my top 5 grails I was looking for forever. I finally got one, and I've been very selective because I've seen it pop up. I've seen some sealed dead stock come up, again, corner cuts. I just couldn't do it. A lot of pricing, you're talking 500 north sometimes. Didn't pay anywhere near that, so I got a very good price and a very good piece. So happy to add this to the collection. Tripod should lick me right here. Come on.
What?
Buddies, that's it. Final Finds, July edition, let's call it. What did you think of all this 90s and 2000s heat? I mean, for Pete's sake, I really should have wore the oven mitt because it was getting pretty toasty. I'm getting pretty toasty right now. I got the lights on. It's daylight outside. Got this hot vinyl right here. I may just have a heat stroke. So I better wrap this up quick. But tell me in the comments below, what do you think of some of this? Do you have any of these albums? Would love to hear your feedback, especially if you've heard them. Or if you haven't heard them in a while, pull them out, clean them. Listen to them, because these are some heat. Heat in the streets, heat in the sheets. Give you the meat sweats. It won't give you meat sweats. You know what I'm saying? My buddies, appreciate you watching. Tell me in the comments below what's going on. Always love hearing from you. Continued thank you support. Surface Noise now coming at you weekly. Round Community Podcast, this channel. Couldn't do without you, and I sincerely appreciate it. So I hope you're having a great summer. Let's keep it going. And until next time, buddies, when you get the chance to listen to those titles or any other 90s or any other records in your collection, just spin it. See you soon.
Well, well, well. How the turntables...
Well, we out of time.